Something that seems to go under the radar for the most part as far as people's consciousnesses are concerned, but it's something nonetheless that is having a severe impact, especially when it comes to education in our country. Point being, one of the 17 goals is quality education. And of course, this has laid the groundworks for learning for sustainability and global citizenship education to become very hot topics in Scottish schools. Practically every single policy, practically every single new resource that enters school settings seems to be predicated on the back of this very specific agenda. On the United Nations' own website, Goal 4 is described as ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all. Further down, when they start to elaborate, it says that by 2030, the intention is to ensure that all learners acquire the knowledge and skills needed to promote the sustainable developments, including, among others, through education for sustainable development and sustainable lifestyles, human rights, gender equality, the promotion of a culture of peace and non-violence, global citizenship, and the appreciation of cultural diversity and of culture's contribution to sustainable development. So the Scottish Government, alongside Education Scotland, the General Teaching Council for Scotland, and of course all of the Quango organisations and so-called non-profitable charities, have all come together to continuously pant out resource after resource after resource as they continue to reform education to reflect the adaptation of the Sustainable Development Goals, more specifically Sustainable Development Goal 4, education. So for example, what is this learning for sustainability? It's a whole setting approach which weaves together global citizenship, sustainable development and outdoor learning to create coherent, rewarding and transformative learning experiences. In Scotland, it is an entitlement for all learners aged 3-year-old to 18 and the responsibility of all educators as outlined in Scotland's National Action Plan for Learning for Sustainability, with the aim being to build an inspiring movement for change. So every 3 to 18 place of education becomes a sustainable learning setting, right? What is global citizenship? Well, that's defined as conflict, climate breakdown, systemic racism, increasing inequalities. If we are to respond to the urgent issues we face today, we need to transform, there's that word again, the systems which perpetuate harm and injustice. Global citizenship education empowers learners to understand these systems and to act for a peaceful, just and sustainable future based on human rights, anti-racism and global solidarity, right? Global citizenship education is empowering and transformative, right? And they want to critically question the causes and effects of social and environmental issues, explore the connections between our own lives and those of others, understand the impact of historical injustices such as colonialism, of course, on real-world issues today, right? And of course it says develop the confidence and skills to disrupt traditional power structures and take action for human rights and, of course, global justice. The Scottish Government on their own websites in their latest publication on Target 2030, they themselves say that they fully recognise the importance of climate and social justice, also saying that they need to accelerate the speed of change and to educate the learners of the future. Now there's a glaring issue here that seems to go under the radar, as I say, and that is the fact that all of these things that these people are introducing into educational settings are skewed in nature, to put it politely. They're presenting global issues to children in order to generate a response from said children, in order to sort of create this sort of environment where children want societal change. So the people that are putting these things into educational context know damn well what they're doing. They want children to believe climate change is real. They want children to believe that racism is rife within society. They want children to believe that all of these societal ills really are as progressive politicians and people like them say they are, in order to get the response and the conformity that they desire. It's problem, reaction, solution. If anything, it's premeditation. And above all else, it's political grooming. Politics has absolutely no fucking place in schools as far as I'm concerned, whether that's left-wing or right-wing politics. Leave children alone. But they can't leave children alone. And if you really want to go down the road of trying to say that politics should be introduced into educational context, then there should be a balanced, fair discussion in certain subjects, right? But there isn't. That's why, for example, we have anti-racist education becoming a Very hot topic yet again. Anti-racist education. Emerging from the Scottish Government's anti-racism and education programme, the Breaking the Mold principles have been designed to help educators, leaders and learners understand what an anti-racist curriculum can mean and how to create sessions to explore anti-racism. During a limited residency with the Dundee City Council School, the Children's Parliament supported the Scottish Government to explore children's views and develop accessible representations of said principles. Right? The Dignity in School team, together with anti-racism educator Grace Dempsey from Intercultural Youth Scotland and multidisciplinary artist collaborated with 2 primary 5 classes in Dundee. What followed was an intensive exploration on the topic of anti-racist education through the lens of human dignity and children's rights. How about teaching children that climate change is a real thing, or man-made climate change is a real thing that threats the very existence of the children inside classroom? To such a point that tackling climate anxiety is now actually an educational resource that can be accessed by teachers as they teach children that the planet's burning to a cinder, right? All the talk of social justice, empowering children in order to create little activists who think that they're really going to make a difference in the world. You get things such as this, a call to action. This creative toolkit is designed to support upper primary and secondary teachers, facilitate creative learning-led artivism projects focusing on social justice and environmental issues, right? Fuck your ABCs, fuck your numeracy, nah. It's all about the social justice. It's all about progressive politics. This is brainwashing. This is brainwashing 101. And as far as climate anxiety is concerned, I would actually argue it's actually child abuse. Truth be told, however, just to conclude this, because I know I'm rambling now, with practical guidance, global citizenship activities and insights from artists and educators, this resource equips teachers to support children and young people explore global issues, express their views through art and inspire change in their communities. It's all about transformations. It's all about change. It's all about activism. It's all about creating little good global citizens. It's all about that sustainability, because our government signed us up to a regime in 2015, and ever since then, practically every single policy that has come out of the back of it has done nothing but denigrate our society, all in favour of progressivism. So for all you ballbags that wander about waving your little saltires at your little EU marches pretending that you're all Scottish nationalists, I'd like for you people to actually justify why the fuck you think this is acceptable to be taught to our children. Anyway,